Hello! My TBR shelf windowsill situation is out of control. I found on Storygraph, they have something called a Scavenger Hunt TBR book challenge, which is exactly what I need. Basically, it says, welcome to this scavenger hunt challenge that will hopefully help you get through some of your TBR. It's very important that you read all of the rules so you understand blah, 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 rules. All of the prompts are connected. The book for one prompt will later be used for the next prompt. If a prompt in the scavenger hunt leads you to a book that you are not interested in reading in that moment, then feel free to look for another book to read that follows the same prompt. Read books only from your TBR, or at least try to. The point of this whole scavenger hunt is to make your TBR smaller whilst having a bit of fun. Cute. I think that sounds really nice and a fun way to get through my TBR. I'm in this mood right now where it's like, I really want to read books, but I don't really know specifically what I want to read or what I'm really in the mood for. So I think this is a good time to do something like this because I can just read whatever the prompt tells me to and be happy with it. Let's get into challenge number 1. Okay, it says, number 1, read the most recently added book in your TBR. I got these two at the same time. It's either A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers or Red Rising by Pierce Brown. As much as I want to read Red Rising, I think I'm gonna go with A Psalm for the Wild Built because I just keep thinking about this one. I bought it, and ever since I bought it, I'm like, I cannot wait to read that. I cannot wait to read that. So I'm gonna go with this one first. So A Song for the Wild Built is, from what I understand, it's about robots gain self-awareness and then they disappear, and then all of a sudden one comes back and is like, what do you guys need? It's really short. It is only 147 pages, so hopefully I can get through this one relatively quickly. Guys, this book, oh my gosh, this book's amazing. It was so good. I gave it 5 stars, by the way, 5 stars. I think this is the best book I have read all year, maybe my whole life. Amazing. So, next challenge. What color was mostly on that cover? Read a book with the complementary color on the cover. I would say this is pretty green. It's got a green back, green spine, and there's a lot of green on the cover. So complementary color for green is red. My camera died in the last clip. So I chose The Christmas Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict. I have no idea what to expect with this. I think it has like a 3.4 on Goodreads. I'm in a Christmassy mood, you know. I want to read a Christmas book, and if it's a Christmas mystery, then hey, I'm down. This is Megan from the future. I either forgot to record telling you my thoughts on the Christmas Murder Game, or I lost it somehow. But thoughts, very just kind of middle of the road boring. Wasn't super great. I honestly don't remember that much about it now, if that says something. I feel like it's kind of like a Knives Out style mystery. because it's a well-to-do family, has the mystery to unsolve, and if you end up solving the mystery, then you get something extravagant, right? That's kind of the concept that this followed, and this one just happened to be a more boring rendition of that. I don't have the footage of me going over the next clue, so here we go. A clue is, what is the most common letter in the title of the last book you read for this challenge? Find a book with a title that starts with that letter. Yeah, and I remember this now. The most common letter was E, because there are 3. Because E is the most common letter, that is going to lead us to Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. This is technically a reread. I read this a very long time ago, back when I was in like grade school. I remember really enjoying it as a kid and kind of want to see if it holds up, stands the test of time. We'll see. So I finished Eleanor and Park and I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was cute. However, I thought that it ended kind of abruptly with the whole stepdad thing. I don't know, it all just kind of came crashing down really quickly. I thought that their banter was really good. I thought that like the way that she wrote their conversation was really good, and it wasn't like overly cheesy or corny. Yeah, 3.5 stars to Eleanor and Park. Moving on to the next prompt. Sorry, I am still very sick. It says, go to the acknowledgements of the last book. What name did you see first? Find a book written by an author with that name. That's gonna be hard. I see Huntley, Nicola Barr, Sarah O'Keefe, Natalie Brain. My camera battery's about to die. Eleanor Orion, St. Martin's, Sarah Goodman. Okay, I'm gonna go try to see if I have an author with one of these names. The acknowledgements is very short, so this is probably going to be challenging. This was hard. I didn't find anybody with those specific names on my TBR, but there was Natalie, and that's kind of, wait, it was Natalie, right? Yeah, Natalie Brain. Perfect. Natalie Brain, and I have Allie Hale, Natalie, Allie, and she writes STEM romances, so brain and STEM. I think that's gonna be as close as we can get. This is our next read, which I'm kind of excited for. I love the Love Hypothesis quite a bit. I gave it 4 stars, and people say that this one is just as good, if not better, so I'm excited to get into this one. Okay, so I finished Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I gave it 2 stars. I just couldn't stand the main characters. The female main character, what's her name? Elsie, is so... What's the opposite of confident?
Insecure.
Insecure. She's so insecure that one of her professors in this book calls her Elise instead of Elsie, and she's never corrected him because she was too insecure to say that that's not my name. She couldn't admit to herself that she had all of these flaws, and that she was insecure, and that one of her quirks is that she lies to people. She manipulates herself to fit the lives of others. It wasn't until this man showed up in her life and was like, oh, you do this, that she was like, oh yeah, maybe I do that. And then it was just the very, very end of the book that she finally was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna change. So the whole entire book, she was just insufferably insecure and annoying. I should probably give it less than 2 stars, honestly. I might give it a 1 or a 1.5 because I didn't like it. We're moving on to number 5 of the challenge. It says, go to page 34, line 6 of the book you just read. How many words are in that line? Divide that number by 3. That's the amount of words the title of your next book should be. So the line is, seconds I let my imagination run to a near future, one in which I'm. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. 14 words. There it is. Don't read too closely, just in case you want to read this book. 14 divided by what? Divided by 3. 14 divided by 3 equals 4.6, repeating. Rounded it up to 5. I say I did round it up to 5 because admittedly I already read this book. Since it's been the holidays and stuff, I've just been, you know, with family and everything, and I haven't been recording anything, but I did continue the challenge and I ended up reading The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, which I am now finished with. I gave this one 3.5 stars. I didn't hate it. I thought that it was interesting, and it kept me entertained the whole time. It kept me gripped. Like I wanted to read it. The only thing is that there is sort of like there's like a fantastical element in it. It kind of took me out of the story because it wasn't that believable, obviously. And I was like, that seems like a weird thing to happen. That's the reason it's 3.5, but it was entertaining and it was fun to read. And I liked Riley Sager as an author. It's the first time I read anything by him, and I definitely want to read some more because I liked his writing style and I thought it was entertaining. The next challenge, number 6, what object did you first see on the cover of your last book? Find another book with the same object in the cover. Obviously, it's a house. That's the first object that I saw because that's pretty much all that's in there. A house or windows, glass, a cabin, perhaps? We'll try to find one. Okay, so I have a couple of options. I have some books that I have on hold from the library that I want to read. And one of them is Holly by Stephen King, and that has a house on the front cover. In the Lives of Puppets, it also has a house on the cover. And None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I think it's just going to depend on whichever one of those holds come in first. And that's what I'm going to read. So I'll keep you updated. I think I left off trying to decide if I was going to read In the Lives of Puppets or Holly by Stephen King. And Holly came in on Libby quicker than In the Lives of Puppets. So that is what I'll be reading. Very much a house on the cover. And I'm excited for this one. I think this is going to be really, really interesting. I have only read very little Stephen King. I have the Bazaar of Bad Dreams book, and I've read a few of the short stories from that book, and that's it. That's all the Stephen King that I've read. So I'm excited to get into him. I don't know if this is a good place to start, but it's where I'm starting. I finished Holly. It was good. I'm giving it a 3.5. I didn't hate it. I thought that it was intriguing. I wanted to know what was going to happen. When I wasn't reading it, I felt like that I wanted to be reading it. That being said, this is my first Stephen King, and I do think I'll read some more of his books. I did like his writing. This one had a weird COVID aspect to it, which was kind of jarring for me. I don't think I'm ready for my fiction books to have COVID references in it yet. It just seems like a little bit too soon still. It wasn't distracting enough that I didn't like the book or couldn't read the book. I thought the perspectives were interesting. Instead of chapters, the book is broken up in dates and years. You're following the timeline of the bad guys of the book, and you're following the timeline of Holly, who is the private investigator of the story. I thought that was interesting because you have like the different spectrums. You have Holly over here, and you have the bad guys over here, and then the storylines are kind of like blah, 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 and then they meet. I thought that was really cool. Interesting way to set up the mystery plot line. Now we need to move on to our next prompt. Oh gosh. Find a book with the same amount of pages as the last book and read it. Holly is 445 pages, at least on the Kindle. Red, white, and royal blue. I think this is our best option. It is 440 pages total. Plus it's a library book and I need to read it before it's due. So red, white, and royal blue. I am not quite halfway through red, white, and royal blue. But I'm on page 185. I am liking their dialogue. I think that is the best part. Casey McQuiston, I don't know, does McQuiston, I think. Casey McQuiston does dialogue really well so far. And everything else is just kind of boring. If we're gonna be honest, it's a lot of literal politics. I feel like she's spending a lot of time describing things that it just kind of feels a little bit mundane and a little bit unnecessary. I'm reading it pretty quickly, which is nice. Could be because I'm skipping a lot of the big chunks of text that isn't dialogue. That could maybe have something to do with it. I like the two main characters, Henry and Alex. I think that they, like I said, their dialogue and their banter is really nice. And I like them as a couple. I think they're cute. I like them as a couple, and I like their relationships with the people around them as well. Like Alex has the relationships to her sister June and the other girl Nora. I like their banter as well within each other, and then also Henry and his best friend Pez, who I think is funny. And I like their relationship as well. The relationships in this book are really nice so far. Final thoughts on Red, White, and Royal Blue. I gave it 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. I liked the writing style. I liked the banter between the characters. I think I mentioned it in the last clip that the dialogue is the best part, and it continued to be that way throughout the rest of the book. Because I did skip over a lot of that big bulk text and just go straight to the dialogue. But because I enjoyed the dialogue so much, I'm left with like a 3.5. Now moving on with the prompt. Find another book with a title that has the same amount of letters as the last book and read it. It has REDWHITEAND. Oh, royal, duh. Yeah, Red, White, and Royal Blue has 17 letters, not counting the and. 17, yeah, okay. Math apparently is very hard for me. And admittedly, this clip is in the future. So now we're gonna skip to past Megan, who found a book with 17 letters in the title. I've found one, and it works the best out of all of the books that I have, and that is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. Not counting the and, which I think is fine. It has 17 letters. Bookshops Bone Dust is 17 letters. So I think that counts, and I've been wanting to read this a lot. I think I liked this more than the first one. And I gave the first one 5 stars, and I'm also obviously giving this one 5 stars. I just liked it so much. The characters were perfect. The setting was perfect. The whole book was perfect. It was just perfect. So this follows Viv, an orc, who is a bounty hunter. She got injured one day and her team just drops her off in this little sleepy seaside town. And they say, this is where you'll heal, and then when we're on our way back from collecting this bounty, we're going to pick you up. So she makes friends in this little town. She starts helping this character named Fern, who owns a bookshop. And she starts helping Fern kind of get more people to come shop at the bookstore and get more people to appreciate reading and appreciate books. And Fern, she gets Viv to start reading, and then Viv starts to love and appreciate books, and it's just all, it was just so cute. And such a nice book for someone who loves books. And this little character, he looks kind of ugly and creepy on the cover. His name's Pot Roast, but in the book, he is super, super cute. And he's like one of the cutest little characters in the whole book. This one, absolutely, absolutely loved. It was so good. The next prompt is something. Okay, flip to any page in the book you just read and point to a random word. The next book title should have that word in the title. This is either going to be extremely easy or it's going to take a few tries, but okay, we're going to try. Okay. How do you do this? This word. I think what? Yeah, consternation is not going to be in any of my book titles, so we're going to go with what. This shouldn't be too hard, I would think. Let me go look. Okay, it turns out it is hard, and I don't have any books with what in the title, so we're going to try again. Herself? I don't have herself. Okay, again. You. Okay. Hopefully this one is better. Nothing with you in the title, so here we go. Well. Well. Okay, this is turning out to be hard because I don't have well either. Words. Words? Definitely don't have words, so. Oh my gosh. Wave. I definitely don't have wave. Okay. Tell and could. I guess we're just gonna keep going. Nope, didn't even land on anything. Book. I got book. I guess that's not hard in a book about books, but I found one. I have The Book Thief, so this is what we're going to be reading next. Everyone said, or not everyone, I feel like people either love this book or they hate this book. And we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna jump right in. We have a Book Thief update. I'd say I'm about halfway through. It's good. I'm enjoying the reading experience. Like, it's good. Is it slow? Yes. Is it dragging? Yes. But do I want to continue reading it? And when I'm not reading it, do I still want to continue reading it? Yes. I'm definitely going to finish it. I'm waiting for that phenomenal moment at the end. I'm really liking our main character, Lizelle. If you've read the book, we've just met Max, and I am really liking their companionship. I think that's very cute. I'm gonna keep trudging along. I just wanna say that this is getting really good. It's working for me now. This book? What the heck? It's so sad. It's literally from start to to end, it's just sadness over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars because it was really good. It was pretty much good but boring. And then it was like, okay, now we're really good and we're really going somewhere. It was heart-wrenching, truly. This follows our main character, Liesel Miminger, and she is German, living during World War II. The characters is what drives this book, 100%. It is 100% a character-driven book. The book kind of follows Liesel as she navigates her life as an adolescent in Germany during this time. The struggle of all of the loss that she has had in her life. Mama, she has the best character arc out of anyone in the whole entire story. In the beginning, I was like, oh, Mama's gonna be a little bit rough around the edges. She's gonna be the strict one, whatever. But by the end, I'm sobbing because of the things that Mama was doing. It's so good. The writing is so good. Yeah, by the end, I was sobbing, absolutely sobbing. So I believe we have a new prompt. This one is, yeah. Okay, this prompt is, find something that really sticks out from the cover of the last book and find a book that has that either in the title or on the cover. So this is kind of similar to one that I think we've had before, but what sticks out to me on this cover obviously is the dominoes, and it's kind of vintagey. There's a hand, pointing hand. I'm gonna go look. Okay, we have found it. Now, I am basing this one totally off the dominoes on the cover. Dominoes, I'm thinking games, table games, you know, black and white. So we have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. It has chess pieces, black and white. That's solely what we're basing this off of, is the table game connection. This is going to be the last book that we read. The last book that we read in this video. It has been a journey, that's for sure. But I'm excited to get to this one. I actually really enjoyed this one. Usually, Ali Hazelwood is a bit not to my liking. Her female main characters are usually kind of insufferable to me because they're so insecure and they need the man to come along to kind of tell them that they shouldn't be. It's kind of just like implying that a man is who validates women, which I don't necessarily love. But this one felt different. Mallory, the main character, she is still insecure about her talent. She's insecure about what she's capable of. That is the common theme between Ali Hazelwood female main characters. In this book, it's not necessarily the male lead that is validating her he's encouraging in the sense where he's like, you're super capable. You have so much skill in this game. But it's the women in her life, her mom, her sisters, her manager, who finally convince her that she is actually capable. And I like that much more, like the women supporting women whole thing. I think that's more of what I look for in a romance novel. A supportive male lead, supporting the female lead. Despite all of those things, I did really enjoy it. It is definitely my favorite Ali Hazelwood that I've read so far. All right, so that is the end of this challenge. We have gotten 10 books off of my physical TBR, which is really good. Super satisfying. Although some weren't that good, others were really good. These 4 were definitely my favorites of this video. Special shout out to both of these. Loved, absolutely loved. Some of my descriptions from the beginning of this video were subpar, and I apologize for that. I like to think that I've evolved a little bit with the way that I give book reviews, and I will just continue to grow in that sense, which I'm excited for. I really liked having this challenge, Pick What I Read. Honestly, I have a lot of unread books that I want to read. If I can take my own brain out of it and just let someone else do the picking, do the choosing, then I'm gonna opt for that pretty much every single time. I will be doing this again because I think it is a lot of fun. Hopefully it doesn't take me quite as long as it did this time, but it was still a really good time. Bye.